Hey everybody, this is Muffin with the Daily Biker Podcast. Just here to let y'all know the opinions and ideas expressed in this show are those of the hosts and their guests, not to be confused with their partners and sponsors. Now, let's get it on.
Hey guys, this is Sean from the Bikes and Beards YouTube channel, and you guys are listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You're gonna love it.
Do we think so? Well, and before when I hit record, that's when it popped up and said there's no card. So it didn't do it that time. Now it's recording.
You know how that goes sometimes. You want to hand me my section of paperwork, or are we just going through that one today?
We'll take a look. Well, the timing too.
That'll work. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah. So here's what we got. In case you're listening to this, we are still on Yoshimura. Today is part 3 of Yoshimura. We're going to do 2 more parts.
Is it just part 3?
Yes. Because there's a lot of information about Yoshimura and how much Pops had ingested chemicals and stuff like that. Daniel's looking at me crazy. He's forgotten most of this.
No, I do remember he was torturing a lot of the people that worked for him with chemicals.
It has been a month.
Yes, it has.
So we are going to give you 2 more parts of this, and then we are going to move on. And we will come back to this at a later date and time for you people that are going to be mad and be like, you left Yoshimura alone.
Because it's also 500 pages.
Well,
It's a novel.
It is a novel.
part and the next part are probably the most important parts.
Talking about racing. I have not seen anything.
Something in particular. So before this part, we do this. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Biker Podcast. My name is Marcus, and I am your clueless leader. Today, we're going to go on a learning journey. I have Miss Muffin.
Hey y'all.
And I have Daddy Daniel.
Hey there.
So, when we recorded last time, if you listened to episode, I don't know the number, but it was the history of BMW. That day was the last day that we recorded.
Correct.
Daniel was supposed to have a baby 7 days later.
Yes.
Daniel had a baby 3 days later.
That is also correct.
So we have let family do their stuff, do the doctor visits, and get acclimated.
Get adjusted to our new lifestyle.
Well, and there's dogs.
Correct.
Get the dogs acclimated to
And
it,
the holiday
all that
season.
stuff.
Christmas, New Year's.
So Daniel and I have texted, but outside of a couple text messages,
We've had a few phone calls.
we haven't talked.
No, we haven't.
We had a phone call about a watch.
That is, we talked one other time about something.
Probably had nothing to do with the baby.
No, it didn't. It was something
So
else.
anyways, so
Like I said, it was something. I can't remember.
I got to see
So long ago.
the baby. But we're going to dive right back into this. Like I said, we're going to give you 2 more parts of this, and then we're going to take a break from Yoshimura because Pops Yoshimura had a lot to say.
He had a lot of history.
Apparently way too much.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And when we take a break, Pops is just sick again.
Yeah.
So it's
Sick
okay.
again, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Strategic kidney issues this time.
So, after several years of consideration, in 1965, Pop made a significant decision in his career. Leave Kaiutsa and go to Tokyo. The focus of his profession had shifted dramatically from a time when he opened the little repair shop of Yoshimura Motors in 1954. Pop had already become a notable engine tuner through road racing in Ganosa, and he knew it was time for him to leave. And in April, the Yoshimuras, excluding Fujio, who was preparing for his high school entrance exams, moved to Fusa, a suburb.
He
of
let him
Tokyo.
finish high school?
Yeah.
Or go to high school?
Work in the factory.
He was actually 35 years old. He's just now getting to high school after all the chemicals that he's inhaled over the years.
So they moved to Fusa, which is a suburb of Tokyo, and it is right next to a United States Air Force base because he can't get away from them, apparently.
I mean,
It knows his market.
It's post World War II Japan.
Yeah. I
Like the whole thing is air base.
It's just one big island air base.
So although they belonged to the greater Tokyo area, it was a smaller town outside of Tokyo, which allowed him to have a little bit more freedom than he would in this town. And he opened up a new shop that had English inscription on the building.
Wonder who he's trying to cater to.
Yoshimura Competition Motors. And he branded everything with Yoshimura spelled in katakana, which is the logo that everybody recognizes. It is not 3 = 47. It is a Japanese language. It spells out the word Yoshimura. I don't know how many times I've went to that. And they've been like, but it says Yoshimura Motors right below
you
it.
said that right as I took a drink, and I have heard people say that about the logo before. Like,
that's not what it means. That is not what it means.
Oh, Lord.
So in the 60s, it was a big turning point. It was a big turning point for Japanese motorcycles. It was a big turning point for Japanese automotive manufacturing as a whole. But with those changes that were happening in the automotive and motorcycle industry, other changes came along. More paved roads, paved racetracks, those types of things. The Funabusha circuit was a 3.1 kilometer circuit. And the Fuji Speedway.
it's an American, like a half mile.
6 kilometer circuit. So, you know, changes were happening, but they were still having races on military bases.
Which, I mean, you're talking about a big like, I would love if the Chattanooga airport just said, you guys go have fun for a little bit.
I feel like there's
Right?
a TV show that used to use an airport. I can't remember.
Well, I think it was an old military base, wasn't it? Like
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
I
so.
think, yeah.
That was an old military base that got turned into a fully private airfield
yes.
where like they used to use do FedEx flights and stuff out there. But they used to race cars on it. I
They
can't remember
raced
the name of
cars.
the show.
It was on an island somewhere.
Yeah. I feel like it was on an island. I remember that. And I feel like whoever it was,
They really liked beans.
they're
Yes, they
not
like
very
beans.
good at war.
Not in current history, I think.
Not in the past 300 years.
I'll give you 200. 300's a stretch. They did lose a lot.
Okay. They're only good at war with other countries that are inside of a drive if you're in Texas.
Correct.
Any country that's further than driving from one side of Texas to the other, they suck at those battles.
So they're good at fighting the people on the island.
Well, and around the island.
Well,
Yeah. I'll give you that.
So,
But I still don't know who they are.
yeah.
I still can't remember.
can't figure out.
Can't figure it out.
Can't figure out. Oh, I bet my Canadian.
Was that Amazon?
I bet my Canadian friend knows who they are.
I bet you they do.
So, anyways,
Probably.
so tracks were changing, all that good stuff.
Well, in the 60s, there was a lot of post-war industrial revolution in pretty much every country.
Yeah.
And you also got to remember in the 50s too, we were still in the Asian theater. The United States was in Korea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So in 1964, in 1963, the first Japanese motorcycle Grand Prix took place at the Suzuka circuit. And in 1964, they brought in the 18-hour motorcycle endurance race. Pops was there with his team, and he defeated the Honda factory team.
that's impressive.
Well,
Now, keep in mind, Pops is also riding
A Honda.
a Honda.
Because
So,
they were on Dreams. if I recall correctly. Or, the Japanese version of a Honda Dream.
Yeah, it's
CB350.
Well, they call it a CB72.
So,
But
yeah.
going back to the BMW episode, they don't know how to put appropriate names on
That might have been a 305 or a 450 Dream, 350 Dream.
Yeah. So in 1965, what was going on had caught the eye of a little-known individual at that time, Yoshimura Honda. And he ordered testing done of his motorcycles. Not Honda's motorcycles, of Pops' motorcycles. Because the Honda produced 24 horsepower. The Honda R&D version made 27 horsepower. But Pops' motorcycles made 32 horsepower.
That, you know what? At a small displacement motorcycle, you're talking about at 8 to 10 horsepower difference.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Well, I'll tell you who was not happy about this, and it wasn't Mr. Honda.
Pops.
Because he saw dollars. No, it wasn't Pops. The engineers at Honda.
No, I can imagine.
Because this little bike shop was building bikes faster than what they could.
There were a lot of suicides happening that day at the R&D factory for Honda.
So it's kind of funny. I saw something the other day that said there was no such thing as a kamikaze pilot. Just Japanese pilots with not enough fuel to get back home.
Lord.
Those R&D guys didn't have enough fuel to make it back to the factory.
I'm like, I know one pilot that had enough fuel to make it back home.
Pops did really good about. He's like, hey, look, I'm on my own ground crew. Let's load this thing up.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, I have engine failure. I got to turn around.
In the
says the engine designer.
In the 1964 18-hour, the Yoshimura CV72 was already delivering as much power as the Honda CR72 production racer and the Yamaha YDS two-stroke, even though it was detuned.
Wow. That's impressive.
They detuned it and still put out the same amount of power. And then, so when they took his bikes and they looked at it, Sarushio said, we will beat Yoshimura in 2 weeks. I'm not sure if he knows this. 18 hours is over before the 2 week mark.
But that's not the point. That's a pride thing at that.
Yeah. As a competitive and passionate leader, Soshirio just wanted to inspire his employees to do their best and had no intention to start a feud.
Oh, you dishonor Honda.
But this incident has definitely hindered the relationship between the two companies in upcoming years. Although Honda R&D later succeeded in extracting more power from their CB72 racing engines, it must have been embarrassing for some compared to Yoshimura.
If you think about it, Honda is a bit, even back then, it was a large company. It was not just some shed somewhere that had guys putting together motorcycles.
No, at this period of time, we have the Dream and the Cub in the States.
Exactly. Like they're
like it's like, I mean, what year is that ad?
I want to say that's late 50s.
Yeah, this is a major ad.
Yeah, that's the Honda. Yeah, the Honda Cub right there.
Yeah, this. I mean, for today's standards.
Oh, and actually, there you go. There's a Dream ad.
So for today's standards, this would be like going to, say, World Superbike.
Mm-hmm.
Them saying, obviously the rules are different now, but if they said, hey, the engine still has to be this engine, and guys find a way to tinker with it.
Yeah.
And Joe Schmo's race shop tinkers with their Fireblade, and it's faster than the Honda factory racing team.
Exactly. Yeah. And that
is literally what is going on.
And not even just faster, winning races.
Yes, winning the races.
Because being fast, like you can make a motorcycle faster. Everybody can do that. But they're tuning the bikes to win the races, not just be faster.
Yep. So in the 60s, most motorcycle manufacturers focused on design and producing their products and performance tuning was not their specialty. Obviously, understandable. Something similar happened in 1982 with AMA Superbikes, where Freddie Spencer was making Hondas faster. So it's not the first time this stuff has happened.
But I will say, Honda historically has been very conservative with their motorcycles. They'll come now. I'm just saying, like across the board, they're generally conservative. Even their race bikes, they may be good. They're still more conservative.
Yeah.
Because they are the most reliable motorcycles.
Well, here's the other thing too. It's not just Mr. Honda that's noticing this. The vice chair and publishing president of the FCFAG, which, if we remember correctly, is the motorcycling for all of Japan or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a magazine. They have a motorcyclist magazine.
Yes.
They asked Pops to start writing an article, a monthly article. And he started in February of 1965 and finished writing his article on August 1967.
That's how long the article was. It took him 3 years to write.
He wrote on motorcycle tuning and four-stroke engine tuning. So,
which, you know, even then, a lot of people did it, but it's still an art to know how to get everything to work together properly.
Well, and here's the thing. In his articles, he wrote detailed examples of about four-stroke engine tuning tips ranging from carburetor selection to cylinder head modifications, valve timing adjustments, high lift camshaft fabrications.
Which,
that was the things that he was writing about.
Like me and you, we don't have the knowledge to go in and from scratch say we need to, grind off a lobe of the cam here to get it to, we're trying to get this higher lift or longer duration, how we're trying to do that. We can throw parts at a bike. I can put a new set of carbs on. I can put a camshaft in. I can put, heads on.
So who do you think was the biggest fan of these articles?
Honda.
The engineers at Honda. And to this day,
do they have them like up on a bulletin board next to the picture of all the sacrificed R&D guys?
They are regarded as a Bible for engine tuning.
Makes sense.
I'm sure there's probably some publication that we could buy and get the Yoshimura Art of Tuning.
So
Sun Tzu, Art of War, Yoshimura, Art of Tuning.
So just like running, any shop, the magazine articles brought customers into the shop, stuff like that. Pops and his family, they'd open the shop at 7 a.m. and they'd work until midnight. Pop would do all of the camshaft work on his own, and he race shaped them using a bitch grinder and oil stones. And for people that don't understand oil stones, that's basically a knife sharpener.
Yeah.
Knife sharpening stones.
Do you understand? Like,
I checked all this using a standard dial gauge.
That is insane.
In a 360 protractor.
That is insane.
A protractor.
And a protractor. Yeah.
Like the idea of how to do it makes sense. Like I get what you're trying to measure and where you're looking at, but just doing that all by hand and doing it proficiently enough that you can sell it.
Now,
that's crazy.
This next thing that it mentions to us, to anybody listening to this, to anybody that's read this before and not thought anything about it, what I'm about to say is common sense in the world of motorcycle tuning now.
Okay.
Keep in mind,
it's in the 60s.
Created this basically because engineers that produced motorcycles didn't think of this stuff. Ports, valves, and crankshafts were mirror finished to help improve volumetric efficiency and reduce friction. That is standard. If you have never seen, first of all, if you've ever went to a race, automotive race, motorcycle race, go into the pits, look at their parts.
Well, they have a whole thing, a port and polish.
Yeah, they're all high polished, finished, high polished camshafts, all that other stuff, because it makes a difference.
But you do also have to think about the manufacturing procedures in the 1960s. They are nowhere near as refined as they are today.
Oh, no.
Because, like, you can look at heads from the 60s, 50s, 60s. They look rough on the inside. Well, they're smooth, but compared to what you would buy now or find nowadays,
it looks like if you've ever put a piece of aluminum through a sandblaster.
Exactly.
It's smooth and it feels smooth to your finger, but it's not smooth.
Yeah.
It's not smooth by any means.
You put it under a microscope and you see
the other thing he did,
dimples and divots.
Yeah.
He did more than just work on the engines. He did stuff like swing arm reinforcements, common practice.
Yep.
And fork braces.
Common practice nowadays.
To help with rigidity. So the question comes into play with all that. Did he kind of modernize more than what you think of?
You know, looking at that, I would say he did. I'm almost positive there were probably other people out there in the world. The world's a large place. There's a lot of people. You know, this is obviously focused on Japan. There are probably other people doing very, very similar things.
Oh, I'm sure.
Maybe not on the same scale that he was or with as much recognition, but yeah, because we didn't start seeing high horsepower motorcycles until the 70s. You know, the late 60s when we had the CB 750 and then Kawasaki with their 750s, 900s, later the 1000s.
So, Pop's methods had been proven on racetracks time and time again, pursuing the next higher level of tuning. However, required more effort and time, yet he still handled every request with his utmost professionalism and courtesy. Concurrently, Kotak won all the Japan Junior Champion titles in 1965, and WADA was attracting increased attention for chasing two-strokes real hard. So that's family, by the way, since it's been a while for us. While Yoshimura was earning a reputation and gaining national recognition, a serious problem was developing. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
How cool would that be to find like an old Honda Dream that had like original Yoshi parts in it?
So Honda began to restrict genuine racing kit parts. Supply to Yoshimura. Supposedly, someone who's envious of Yoshimura's success, to try and to solve the problem, Pop finally contacted Mauricio to ask about it. But it just made the situation worse. And it is said that Mauricio furiously blamed the incident on his employees. By the end of 1965, the relationship with Honda ceased completely, and Honda then established their Racing Service Center, the predecessor of Honda Racing Corporation, or HRC, in order to develop and supply genuine racing parts. During this time, two young fans of Pops entered the Yoshimura working scene. Ken Matsusuru, who in 1966 drove all the way from Eheim on a Honda S600. I don't know how far that is.
A distance, apparently. A notable distance.
And Mamora Morawaki, who in the same year also rode all the way from Kobe on a CB72. The two later, respectively, became globally recognized as racing constructors and tuners. And in 1966, Yoshimura moved to Akagawa, a few kilometers away from Fusa. Pop had to borrow money to build a new factory, but it was worth it. Since it was located in a rural area, There was no need to be concerned about making a lot of noise. From that moment on, Yoshimura began to tune more automobiles as well as motorcycles, and the name Yoshimura increasingly became even more important in the Japanese motor scene. So thinking of that, I wonder if there was some type of tie or relationship between guys in the Midnight Club
That
and Yoshimura.
I wouldn't see why not.
I mean, because the original Midnight Club was in the late 80s.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a little bit too late, though.
But the guys that were racing the Midnight Club in the late 80s, they were in their 40s doing that.
True.
Because they were big in businessmen worth a lot of money that were going out and doing underground street racing with their buddies who were big time businessmen in their 40s.
Yeah. And, so they would have been in that
20s in the 60s.
Yeah. Yeah. So they'd be in that right age range to, it's a distinct possibility that there is some sort of connection with that. But does it talk about that later in the articles?
I don't know.
No?
I guess that is something that we'll find out.
I guess we're going to have to.
On to the next one.
And on that bombshell.
Hey everybody, this is Sean at White Lightning Harley Davidson. I want to thank you for listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You can reach the podcast on Facebook or Instagram at The Daily Biker, or you can email the podcast at thedailybiker@gmail.com. Be sure to keep an eye on White Lightning Harley Davidson's social media pages for the most up-to-date information on all our events and where you can find the boys.